The stars blinked coldly overhead, indifferent to the unfolding chaos beneath them. In the quiet sector of the Valnari exploration array, nestled deep within their homeworld's orbit, a sleek probe drifted silently toward a small, blue-green planet, Earth, a place known to the Valnari only by a peculiar and erratic transmission intercepted weeks earlier. The signal was bizarre, a wild burst of frequencies, fluctuating wildly, an incoherent yet somehow compelling jumble of voices, music, static, and something else unpredictability. Captain Elon stared at the probe's feed in the command chamber. The Valnari ship's metallic walls hummed softly with technology designed for order and precision. The probe's cameras caught glimpses of sprawling cities, forests, oceans, but also flickers of machines moving with chaotic energy, smoke plumes, and flashing lights that didn't follow any discernible pattern. The probe's sensors suddenly flared in alarm. Something was approaching, fast, erratic, and not friendly. Before Elon could react, the probe was struck by a volley of electromagnetic pulses that crippled its systems. Then silence. "They destroyed the probe," Elon said, his voice calm but tense. "They are dangerous, erratic, insane." "Captain," his second, Lyra, replied carefully, "this confirms what the transmission suggested. Their technology is chaotic, unpredictable, unlike any other species we have encountered." Elon nodded, rubbing his long fingers against his chin. "We must proceed with caution. Prepare the diplomatic team. We will go to them, face to face. Earth, a world of chaos and contradictions." In a bustling research facility somewhere in the United States, Dr. Mirachan rubbed her eyes and scanned her monitors. The signal had intrigued her ever since it appeared in the radio waves, a chaotic blend of noise, music, and voices that no one could decode. It was beautiful in its chaos. "Look at this," Mira said to Lieutenant Sam Reyes, who was perched on the edge of a desk, eating a sandwich. "They're trying to communicate, but it's like listening to a dozen radio stations tuned all at once." Sam chuckled. "Sounds like humanity to me. Messy, loud, and impossible to ignore." Mira rolled her eyes but smiled. "Exactly. But imagine if it's not just noise. Maybe someone's trying to talk to us. Or warning us." Suddenly, alarms blared through the facility. "We have incoming. Unidentified ship entering Earth's orbit." Sam grabbed his helmet. Well, that escalated quickly. First contact, a clash of order and chaos. High above Earth, the Valnari diplomatic cruiser, a smooth, silver vessel shaped like a crystal shard, hovered silently. Inside, Captain Elon prepared for a historic meeting. The diplomatic protocol was etched into every aspect of the Valnari culture, calm, precise, respectful. But what lay below was anything but calm. When the ship's airlock hissed open, Elon stepped onto the surface, greeted by an uneasy team of humans. Mira, Sam, and a few government officials awaited them, their expressions a mixture of curiosity, suspicion, and awe. "Welcome to Earth," Mira said, her tone warm but guarded. "I'm Dr. Mirachan." "Elon," the Valnari captain replied, bowing slightly. "We come in peace." Sam shifted, eyeing the alien with a mix of amusement and wariness. "Peace? That's a new one for us." Elon observed the humans, their posture, their expressions, the subtle but constant motion of nervous energy. It was chaotic. Their greetings were loud, hands gesturing wildly. To the Valnari, it felt like standing in a storm of unpredictability, misunderstandings, and a close call. The diplomatic talks began in a temporary facility erected for the occasion. The Valnari spoke in measured tones, explaining their interest in peaceful contact and scientific exchange. Humans responded with enthusiasm and interruptions, laughter, jokes that fell flat in translation. Then disaster struck. A young technician, trying to lighten the mood, set off a harmless but startling prank, releasing a small drone that zipped around, flashing lights and playing a popular Earth song at full volume. The Valnari froze. Their biological makeup was sensitive to unexpected stimuli, and the sudden noise triggered a panic protocol in their defense systems. For a moment, the ship's external shields activated, and Valnari security personnel readied weapons. Mira scrambled to calm everyone down, laughing nervously. "It's just a joke. We didn't mean any harm." Elon's eyes narrowed, struggling to reconcile the alien chaos with his own instincts for order. Your species' behavior is incomprehensible. It borders on madness. Sam grinned, unabashed. Welcome to humanity. We're insane, sure, but it keeps things interesting. Reflections and the seeds of respect. Later that evening, under a dark sky dotted with stars, Captain Elon and Dr. Chun stood apart from the others. You humans, you are not like any species I have ever encountered, Elon admitted quietly. Your unpredictability is unsettling, but also fascinating. Mira smiled. We don't always make sense. Sometimes we break the rules, just to see what happens. Elon nodded slowly. Perhaps that is your strength. Insanity, if you call it that, breeds innovation. It is frightening but necessary. As Earth spun silently beneath them, two very different species stood on the edge of a new chapter. The Valnari had come seeking order and peace, but they had found something wild, unpredictable, and alive. Something profoundly human. Chapter 1 ends with the Valnari diplomatic team establishing fragile contact with humans. Both sides baffled by each other's culture. Valnari see humans as insane. Humans see Valnari as cold and rigid. A prank nearly causes a diplomatic crisis, underscoring the unpredictable nature of humans. Characters introduced. Captain Elon, Valnari diplomat. Dr. Mirachun, human scientist. Lieutenant Sam Reyes, human military officer. The tone balances awe at the unknown, tension from misunderstandings, and humor from cultural clashes. World building. Valnari culture's emphasis on order and logic versus human chaos and ingenuity. Foreshadowing future conflicts and alliances built on this chaotic first contact. Would you like me to continue with Chapter 2 or add dialogue excerpts or character backstories? You said. Diplomatic talks aboard the Valnari cruiser. The silver diplomatic cruiser hovered silently above Earth's atmosphere, a gleaming shard of calm amidst the planet's turbulent clouds. Inside, the atmosphere was anything but calm. Captain Elon sat stiffly in the meeting chamber, flanked by his advisors. Across the polished crystalline table sat Dr. Mirachun, Lieutenant Sam Reyes, and a rotating cast of human diplomats and scientists. The room buzzed with quiet tension, each side trying to bridge the gulf between cold logic and warm chaos. The data you shared on your planet's ecosystems is remarkable, Elon said carefully, scanning holographic projections of Earth's forests, wetlands, and deserts. Your technology mimics nature in ways we have not yet explored. Mira smiled, leaning forward. Our species has always survived by adapting. When rigid systems fail, we improvise. We embrace the chaos around us. Sam interjected with a grin. You might say humans are the original hackers of the natural world. Elon's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. Yet, your military protocols, they seem inconsistent, unpredictable. That concerns us. Sam shrugged. Unpredictability is a tactic. Keeps the enemy guessing. Keeps us alive. The Valnari learn human ingenuity and madness. As the talks continued, the Valnari officers watched human interactions closely. Mira led demonstrations of human bioadaptive technology, suits that healed wounds by mimicking cellular regeneration, drones that operated semi-autonomously in complex environments, and hacking devices that rewired enemy systems on the fly. Elon marveled at the human creativity, but remained unsettled by their apparent tolerance for risk and disorder. Your approach defies our understanding of order, he remarked to Mira privately. How do you maintain control amid such chaos? Mira laughed. Control is an illusion. We survive because we accept the unpredictable and make it work for us. We're resilient because we refuse to die trying to follow a perfect plan. The meeting was interrupted abruptly. An alert blared across the ship. Sabotage in crisis. Security breach detected, a voice announced. Elon's heart tightened. What is happening? Sam was already on his feet. Helmet snapped on. Looks like trouble. The breach originated in the ship's power core. A rogue human faction, extremists who distrusted any alien presence, had somehow infiltrated the facility on Earth and launched an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt the Valnari systems. The power flickered, alarms blaring. Lights dimmed, life support adjusted automatically, but tension skyrocketed. Contain the breach, Elon ordered, though his calm voice betrayed his concern. Mira, eyes sharp, rushed to the control panels. I can help stabilize the systems, but I'll need to improvise. Elon nodded, trusting the unpredictable genius beside him. Human and Velnari cooperation. Myra's fingers flew across the controls. Their pulse scrambled most of the systems, but if I reroute energy through these bioadaptive conduits, we can create a makeshift shield to stabilize the core. Sam offered, I'll lead a security team to hunt down the saboteurs. We can't let them wreck this fragile piece. Elon hesitated, then agreed. Very well. We must act swiftly. Our survival depends on it. As Mira worked, Elon coordinated with his Velnari officers, issuing precise orders to contain the damage. Despite the chaos, the team moved with tense efficiency, alien logic and human improvisation intertwining under pressure. Unexpected strategy, chaos as strength. During the operation, Elon observed something profound. Human soldiers operated in small, agile squads, adapting their tactics on the fly, breaking from rigid formations and using the environment creatively. They embraced the unpredictability of the situation, turning it into an advantage. What you call insanity, Elon told Mira later, is not madness, but a form of strategic brilliance. Mira grinned. We call it survival instinct. When plans fail, improvise. When rules bind, break them. That's how we win. Sam returned with news. The saboteurs have been captured, but their motivations revealed deeper fractures within human society, factions fiercely opposed to alien influence, willing to sabotage peace for their own ends. Cultural and philosophical clashes deepen. In the quiet aftermath, the diplomatic talks resumed, but the mood was heavier. Elon addressed the group solemnly. This sabotage reveals your internal chaos is not just unpredictable but dangerous. How can we trust a species so divided? Myra's expression hardened. We're messy, yes, but that chaos also drives us to grow, to fight for what we believe in. You Velnari may see it as weakness, but it's our strength. Sam added, the universe isn't neat or predictable. If you want peace with humans, you have to accept that it comes with noise. Elon nodded slowly. I see that now. Perhaps there is wisdom in your madness. Emotional beats, growing mutual respect. That night, as the stars twinkled beyond the cruiser's windows, Elon and Mira shared a quiet moment. You humans have a fire I envy, Elon said softly. Your unpredictability terrifies my people, but I find it inspiring. Mira smiled, feeling the weight of history in the making. And you Velnari, with your calm and order, keep us grounded. Maybe we need each other more than we thought. Sam joined them, cracking a rare smile. Looks like we're stuck with each other, and that's not such a bad thing. Foreshadowing and closing. As the cruiser prepared to descend for more talks, intelligence arrived. A war fleet from the Koroth, a brutal and rigid species, was en route to Earth. They had deemed humanity a dangerous anomaly to be destroyed. Elon's eyes darkened. Your insanity may soon face its greatest test. Mira clenched her fists. Then we'll show them why being insane sometimes means being unbeatable. Sam grinned fiercely. Humanity's about to get real. The fragile alliance between humans and Velnari had survived sabotage and misunderstanding. Now, with a far greater threat approaching, their combined ingenuity and chaos would be put to the ultimate test. Chapter 2 ends with human and Velnari diplomatic talks deepen, revealing contrasts in culture and strategy. The sabotage crisis forces uneasy cooperation, showcasing human improvisation and resilience. Characters evolve. Elon admires human unpredictability. Myra's brilliance shines in crisis. Sam proves both humor and tactical savvy. Major conflict foreshadowed. The impending arrival of the Koroth fleet, an existential threat. Themes of chaos as strength, cultural clash, and the forging of fragile trust. World building expands. Human internal political divisions, bioadaptive tech, and alien military rigidity. Tension and stakes escalate, setting up a high-stakes conflict in Chapter 3. If you'd like, I can continue with Chapter 3 or help develop dialogue, character arcs, or specific scenes. You said, the dark arrival of the Koroth fleet. The calm above Earth shattered as the Koroth fleet appeared on every sensor, a sprawling armada of brutal warships, their black hulls jagged and menacing. They cut through space with precision, relentless as a swarm of predators. Captain Elon stood on the command bridge of the Valnari cruiser, his usually composed features grim. "The Karath do not negotiate," he said to Mira and Sam, who stood beside him. "They view your species as a threat that must be eliminated." Sam cracked a half-smile, grim but unshaken. "Well, that's just rude. But if they want to fight, they're going to get one." Mira, always the scientist, scanned the incoming data. Their technology is formidable but rigid. They rely on overwhelming firepower and strict tactics. That rigidity, it might be a weakness. Elon nodded slowly, considering. Then we must fight not with brute force, but with unpredictability. Forming the unlikely alliance. The fragile human-Valnari alliance solidified under the weight of impending doom. Earth's leaders and Valnari diplomats convened in a joint command center, an uneasy room filled with tension and hurried strategies. Elon addressed the council. "Our combined forces must not only survive but outthink the Karath. The key lies in your species' insanity, the chaotic unpredictability that defies rigid strategy." Mira stepped forward, her eyes bright with determination. "I have a plan. It's risky and unconventional. We'll use small human strike teams to infiltrate their fleet, cause havoc, and disrupt their command and control. Meanwhile, Valnari forces will engage directly, drawing their attention." Sam added with a grin. "Think of it like throwing a bunch of monkeys into a machine. They don't understand what's going on, and it drives them nuts." Elon's brow furrowed, but he saw the spark of brilliance. "It's madness, but it might work." The insanity gambit takes shape. Preparations began immediately. Mira developed bioadaptive gear for the strike teams, combining human improvisation with Valnari technology to create equipment that could adapt on the fly. The human squads trained intensely, learning to operate in small, flexible groups that could strike, sabotage, and vanish unpredictably. Sam took charge of the lead strike team, mixing humor with strict discipline. "We're the chaos they didn't expect," Sam told his soldiers. "Stay unpredictable. Stay alive. And above all, be insane." Elon, watching from the Valnari command deck, found himself growing respect and hope. The human's willingness to risk everything on improvisation challenged everything he knew about warfare. Striking the Karath, unleashing chaos. The first human strike teams launched under cover of darkness, slipping past Karath patrols with daring stealth. Their targets were command ships and communications hubs, critical nodes in the enemy's fleet. Sam's team moved through the enemy corridors like ghosts, planting disruptive devices and hacking systems. The Karath, accustomed to orderly warfare, found their operations disjointed by unpredictable sabotage. Meanwhile, Valnari cruisers engaged in direct battles, drawing heavy fire and forcing the Karath into defensive postures. Back on the command bridge, Elon observed the chaos unfolding with a mixture of awe and disbelief. "These humans, they fight like wild storms," he muttered. "Their madness is a weapon. A close call and hard decisions." During a critical mission, Sam's squad was discovered deep inside a Karath flagship. The situation turned dire as enemy forces closed in. "We're pinned," Sam radioed. "Extraction is impossible. We have to improvise." With no backup coming, Sam ordered his team to split up and use guerrilla tactics, blending into the ship's systems and environment. The Karath pursued, frustrated and confused by the relentless hit-and-run tactics. In the Valnari command, Elon made a bold decision. "Deploy emergency support. If we lose that team, the entire gambit fails." Mira worked feverishly to adapt the bioadaptive gear, sending rapid response squads to reinforce Sam's team. The rescue was perilous but successful. Sam's unit emerged battered but alive, their mission accomplished. The tactical turning point. The continuous sabotage and chaos eroded Karath morale and command cohesion. The Karath commanders, used to strict discipline, struggled to respond to a foe that seemed to anticipate and counter every move, unpredictably. Elon addressed the combined fleet. "This insanity you have feared, it is our greatest strength. Let us embrace it fully." Mira added, "The Karath expect traditional warfare. We will give them a storm they cannot weather." With renewed vigor, the human strike teams multiplied their raids. They hacked power grids, scrambled communications, and destroyed weapon caches. The Karath fleet became a fragmented, confused force, growing bonds and philosophical shifts. Between missions, Elon and Mira continue their conversations, exploring the deeper meaning of humanity's madness. "You speak of chaos as if it is a choice," Elon said thoughtfully. "But it feels like survival instinct, an acceptance that the universe is unpredictable." Mira nodded. "Exactly. We don't pretend to control everything. We adapt, evolve, and push forward. Sometimes we fail spectacularly, but we never give up." Sam joined them, leaning casually. "And sometimes, you just have to throw a grenade and hope for the best." Elon chuckled, a rare sound. "Your species is maddening, but I cannot deny the power in your madness." Preparing for the final phase, the combined fleet prepared for a final, decisive assault on the Karath flagship, the heart of the enemy command. The plan was audacious. Human squads would infiltrate and sabotage critical systems from within, while Valnari forces engaged in a direct, distracting assault outside. Mira worked on new enhancements to bioadaptive gear, pushing the limits of human and Valnari technology combined. Sam's strike team readied for what could be a one-way mission. "If we pull this off, they'll remember the insanity that saved Earth." Elon stood among them, no longer just an observer, but a believer in the unpredictable spirit of humanity. Chapter 3 ends with, the Karath fleet arrives, threatening Earth's destruction. Humans and Valnari form a fragile but determined alliance. Humans propose and implement a risky, insanity gambit, leveraging chaos and guerrilla tactics. Strike teams led by Sam infiltrate and sabotage Karath ships, confusing and fracturing the enemy. Elon evolves from skeptic to believer in human unpredictability as a tactical weapon. The stakes rise dramatically as the combined forces prepare for a final assault. Themes: unpredictability as strength, the power of improvisation, cultural synthesis. Tone mixes tension, strategic brilliance, and camaraderie. Would you like me to continue with Chapter 4, or work on dialogue, action scenes, or character moments next? The final assault begins. The vast Karath flagship loomed before the combined fleet, a fortress of dark steel bristling with weapons and defenses. Its presence was an ominous reminder that the fate of Earth and its new alliance rested on the coming battle. Captain Elon stood on the Valnari cruiser's bridge, eyes sharp, every system primed. "This is the culmination of our gamble," he said, voice steady but resolute. "The insanity gambit must succeed." Dr. Mira Chun checked the bioadaptive suits once more, her fingers steady but her mind racing with hope and fear. "If we can disrupt their command systems, we can cripple their fleet. But it will be a race against time." Lieutenant Sam Reyes, leading the human strike teams, tightened his helmet. "We're the chaos in their perfect machine. Let's remind them why humans are insane." The combined fleet surged forward, Valnari cruisers engaging the flagship's outer defenses, drawing intense fire. Amid the chaos, Sam's squads infiltrated the massive ship through hidden airlocks and maintenance shafts, their bioadaptive gear adjusting to environmental hazards on the fly. Inside the beast, sabotage and survival. Inside the Karath flagship, Sam's team moved like shadows, fast, unpredictable, and relentless. Their mission: plant viral hacks into the enemy's command core, sabotage weapon systems, and disable communications. The ship's corridors echoed with alarms and the pounding footsteps of Karath's security forces. The humans used every advantage: guerrilla tactics, improvised explosives, even environmental hazards like venting steam and gravity shifts. At one point, Sam narrowly avoided capture, ducking into a maintenance crawlspace just as guards passed by. "That was too close," he muttered, heart pounding but adrenaline sharp. Meanwhile, Mira coordinated remotely, hacking alongside the physical assault. "I'm inside their mainframe," she reported. "Deploying the virus in 3, 2, 1. Systems began to flicker and fail across the Karath fleet. Weapon turrets froze, communication channels scrambled, power grids glitched. The tide turns. Chaos unleashed. On the flagship's bridge, the Karath commanders scrambled to regain control, but the carefully structured order of their fleet was breaking down. Captain Elon seized the moment. "All units, press the attack. Their command is compromised." The Valnari cruisers unleashed a coordinated barrage, exploiting openings created by the human sabotage. Back inside the ship, Sam's team planted explosives at the engine core, preparing for a dramatic escape. "We've got to move," Sam ordered. "Extraction in 5 minutes." The corridor shook violently as explosions rocked the ship, the bioadaptive gear shielding the humans from fire and debris. Elon watched as the flagship began to falter. Their mighty fortress is crumbling. Sacrifice and heroism. As the final countdown to extraction ticked, disaster struck. A Karath warlord appeared with reinforcements, cutting off one escape route. The humans were trapped. Sam made a split-second decision. "I'll hold them off. Get the others out." Mira protested. "You can't." Sam smiled grimly. "I'm the insane one here. You get out." With that, Sam drew his weapon and held the line, his team escaping through alternate paths. Elon and Mira watched the extraction pods launch, tense and silent. The price of madness. The flagship erupted in a massive explosion as Sam's charges detonated. The shockwave rocked the fleet. Elon's communicator crackled. "Sam, status." "Static." Then a rough voice. "Mission accomplished. Extraction delayed but alive." Relief flooded Elon. "Return immediately. Your bravery saved us all." Back on the cruiser, Sam staggered aboard, battered but alive. Mira rushed to him, eyes shining with gratitude. "You risked everything," she said. Sam shrugged, bloody but smiling. Sometimes, being insane means you just don't know when to quit. Aftermath and new understanding. With the Karath flagship crippled and their fleet in disarray, the enemy retreated. Earth and the Velnari had won a hard-fought victory. In the calm after the storm, Elon addressed the Alliance. "Today we witnessed the power of unpredictability. Your chaos, your madness, was the key to survival." Mira added, "We didn't just fight together. We learned from each other." Sam grinned. "We showed the universe that human insanity isn't a flaw, it's a feature." The three shared a look of mutual respect, representatives of two species bound by newfound trust. The new frontier. Weeks later, the Alliance Council convened again. This time, the tone was hopeful. Elon spoke first. "The Velnari welcome humanity as partners, not just allies, but equals. Together, we will explore the stars." Myra's eyes gleamed with possibility. "There's so much to learn, so much to create. The universe isn't orderly. It's alive, chaotic, and beautiful." Sam cracked his usual grin. "And maybe a little insane. Just like us." As Earth's blue-green globe turned beneath them, the stars no longer seemed distant or indifferent. They were a challenge, a promise, a frontier for humans and Velnari alike. Chapter 4 ends with the climactic assault on the Karath flagship, a perfect blend of human improvisation and Velnari precision. High tension, thrilling sabotage missions, and heroic sacrifice by Sam. The collapse of the Karath fleet's order and the victory of the Insanity Gambit. Emotional moments of camaraderie, sacrifice, and respect between species. A powerful thematic conclusion. Unpredictability as a strength, madness as survival. The Alliance solidified, with hope and ambition to explore the cosmos together. Tone blends action, awe, humor, and emotional depth, a true HFY celebration. Would you like me to help create dialogue highlights, character backstories, or even a short epilogue for the story?